So, this song, how good? It's a challenge. Welcome to the tutorial on how to play it the right way, the correct way, the way that it was written. There's really two parts that are key to playing the song right. There's another part that's kind of optional if you want to do it. It's not as important. I'm going to go over all three parts. The first part's obviously the opener. That's the part that most people are scared by. But the chorus is, the voicings on those chords I feel like are really important to carry the feeling of the song as well. So I'll go over that, and then the verses, the only other part that's a little different, but that is definitely optional. What I would like to do is just go over the intro first. The intro really sounds pretty technical. It's really not as hard as it sounds to play. Really the trickiest part is your right hand, not your left hand. You hear it sounds like a bunch of notes, sounds like the left hand's doing a lot of it's just pull off. Really the tricky part is this right hand. So I'm gonna slow it down, show you how it's created, and then show you specifically on the right hand what you're doing with your right hand. This song was actually this riff was written, I was just messing around, playing with some guitar tones one day in my studio, and I was just kind of riffing off, like most acoustic guitar players, if you're playing in the key of E, you're not unfamiliar with playing these type of chords, where you're just playing, and then you're playing the two bottom open. Most people are not familiar with playing those type. I call them the "I Could Sing of Your Love Forever." It's gonna date me. I could sing of your love forever. Anyway, those chords. So we're in the key of E, and we're playing these type of chords. But if you take that finger off, take the pinky off, and you put your middle finger there, right there on the the 8th fret, then you have an E major 7, which is also could be considered a B. If you move your root, it's really a B over E. But what you're going to do is imagine that you're playing that chord. Just take this finger off. Don't worry about this finger. Now what we're going to do is these two fingers are going to stay right here. So the third finger stays on the 9th fret, 4th string, and the second finger stays on the 8th fret, 3rd string, the entire time of the whole intro. The work is happening with your first finger, and all it's doing is doing pull-offs. So if you're not familiar with pull-offs, it's where you strike the string and you let go. And when you let go, you kind of pull off. That's why they call it a pull-off, right? You pull off so you get a second sound. So you're gonna get, that's open, and then, okay. So the intro slowed down is gonna look like this. That's it. So I'm playing an open A string. That's it. And then you play that exact same thing, except you're going to play an E string open. Okay. Now, let's pay attention to the right hand. The left hand, all it's doing is going. That's all it's doing. So it's just going 1. Other than that, the left hand is doing nothing. That's all the left hand's doing. The trick is the right hand. And this is where you'll have to work it out. So you start with 2 A's, and this song is in 12/8, so it's got a real shuffle. Gut, 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 gut. So we're gonna go dun, dun, dun. That's hard because you're doing a big jump. You're going from the 5th string all the way to the 1st string. Okay. Now from there, all you're gonna do is you're doing this pull off, and then you're going to rotate back from this third string. The only reason you never even play this third finger on the left hand. You actually never even play that. However, I put it there just so that I don't get an open D string because it sounds real bad. So if you accidentally hit that string and you have your finger there, it's in the key. It's actually the same. It's the same as it's a B. So if you accidentally hit the string and you have your finger there, it still sounds good. That's why I do it. Otherwise, you could just put that finger there if you're real precise with your right hand. I'm just not as precise with my right hand, and I need a safety net in case I accidentally hit the wrong string. So you're going to go down, down, then down, up, down. So this hand is, just let's watch the right hand. Slow down. Slow down again. Okay. So the trick is this jump, and then also just once you get your right hand, it's almost like automatic. One more time, slow down. Left hand. Right hand. Make sense? The trick also is to just get it clean. Because even you'll notice sometimes when I'm playing it, it's just not clean. And it's just getting that consistency, which is going to take practice. If the jump is hard for you, as an acoustic guitar player, you could probably leave it out and just imagine it. The rest of the band's going to be playing it. Bom, bom. Bass is going to be playing all that. So you could, You could just play that and imagine the other notes. If you're playing it by yourself, you're trying to lead a group of people and you're trying to pull that off, you're going to have to play it. All right, so that's the intro. That's the hook. It's always fun to be challenged, right? So the chorus chords and the loop chords are unique in that it's just an A and E. I mean, the whole song, for the most part, is just 4 to 1, 4 to 1, A to E, A to E, right? But what we're actually playing is a major 7, a 9 actually, because it's got that B in there. A major 7, 9. And the way that we're doing this, I call these John Mayer chords. If you think about John Mayer on his first big, welcome to the real, that song. Forget the name of it, but that's the chord, right? It's an E major 7. So what we're doing is we're playing A. You're muting your top string. Muting the E string, you're playing the A string, and then I have my first finger on the 11th fret, fourth string, and then I use my fourth finger. You can use your third finger. I use my fourth finger because when it slides down, it makes it easier. Fourth finger on the 13th fret, third string. Then the other 2 strings are open. That's what it should sound spelled out. Now, what I do also is I use my middle finger to mute that 6th string, just so I don't have to worry about it. Because if I hit it, it sounds weird. Especially because you're about to go to the E. If you accidentally hit that E string, it sounds weird. So I use that to mute the string. Then we're going to slide down to where your first and fourth fingers just slide straight down to the 6th fret on your 4th string with your first finger, and the 8th fret on the 3rd string with your 4th finger. And now you're just going to add your second finger, and you don't really have to actually because it's still a B. I just like it because it adds a new voicing. It's just a pretty chord. Now the trick is, can't play the fifth string. Fifth string needs to be muted because that's the A. And I do that with my first finger. So when I slide down, I just mute that fifth string, and I put my first finger on to where it mutes it. So when I strum all the strings, you don't hear that string. And it's spelled out, it should sound like this. So when you play that, now watch the right hand. The right hand is doing a pretty unique strum pattern too. This is pretty important because you want to get the feel of the song. The song needs to push forward. That's the feel that you want. And you can't do it if you're just doing a typical. That sounds more jazzy and laid back, right? So to make that push forward, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. This is hard to do with your right hand. If you need to simplify it, you can. I'm just showing you what I did to get the feel that makes the song, you know? So watch the right hand, watch the left hand. Slow down. Okay. Tricky with the right hand again. This song sounds hard with the left hand. It's really the right hand that's doing all of the work. So that's the first two parts. The verse, I'm doing a thing where I'm walking up. If you're not familiar with this, this is much like the chords that I was showing you before. I'm basically doing that, but not moving the root. So they're right over each other. Second fret, fourth fret. Then whenever I slide up to the sixth fret, I moved my third finger to the seventh fret. And if you look, that's an A bar chord. If you look, I'm just playing A string. So now this one's a little trickier because you're having to spread out. You've got I use my pinky on the fourth string, my first finger on the third string, and then I have to mute the A string, because if not, it sounds bad, right? The A string muted, but then you just slide that straight up, so you go. Then it goes, I don't do anything fancy. E over G sharp. So that's the basic song. Then the bridge. So the electric is doing this. There's really not an acoustic on that demo. And honestly, what you do on the bridge is not as important because the guitar and all that stuff is going to be carrying it. Really what you become at that point is a rhythmic instrument. So the The more important thing is the feel of what you're doing and making sure it sets into what's happening. Again, that's why I kind of would go simple. You could even do that walk up octaves. That might be cool. Oh, sorry. Something like that. That's probably what I would do if I was on acoustic. It kind of sits into the groove, but also doesn't get in the way of all the other parts that are happening, because there are a lot of things that are going crazy at that point. Sweet. Well, hope this is helpful. And if you have questions, let me know. Thanks.